to start off this video, I'm just gonna go ahead and make a nice background here. Lemon chiffon is one of my favorite colors in CS Academy, so I'm gonna run that. Okay, I've got my background here. Now, let's say here I want to add a nice little polka dot pattern wherever I click my mouse. Well, we've learned about def onMousePress, which is a special type of function in CS Academy. Remember, a function is just a set of code that takes in some input. And this lesson is all about that input here, those parameters that's what the specific name is here, okay? So onMousePress is a special function that runs some code down here. So let's say, for instance, I want to create a circle. And onMousePress, and I'll finish this code here in a moment, onMousePress takes in two values here, x and y. And you might have seen this before and been thinking, okay, what exactly is that x and y? Well, here, I'm going to give you an example. So let's say I want some circles to appear when I press the mouse. I could go ahead and just write some code that looks like this. Okay, I've got 200, 220, and then I've got fill is equal to lime. Okay, I run it, I press it. The problem here is that these circles always appear exactly in the same spot every single time. So that's not really helpful for us because we want these circles to appear everywhere, wherever you click the mouse. That's where the x and y come in. These x and y values, parameters, are special variables that we can use to change parts of the code down here inside of the function. All the code that's indented is inside of the function. So all this code right here, this circle, all of this is part of onMousePress, the onMousePress function. So basically what I'm going to do here is instead of writing 200, 200, I'm actually going to replace this with x and y. And what this is going to do is allow me to, every single time I press the mouse, now create a circle wherever I press the mouse. Now I'm going to show you a little bit deeper what exactly is happening here. You don't need to know exactly what I'm doing here, but what I am going to, I'm going to write some code in here. I'm going to explain as I go along. So I'm going to do something like this. Dot is equal to circle, and then I'm going to say print dot. Okay, now. Okay, and then I'm also going to do this, print mouse location. And essentially what this code is going to do is it is going to take in my x and y value, input, and it is going to print out what the location of the mouse is as well as what the location of the circle is so that you know exactly what's happening here. So I'm going to add in some parentheses here. Again, you don't need to know exactly what I'm writing here. I mean, if you want to find out, you can certainly ask me here. But this is really just to show you, and let me just double check it to make sure that it works. Aha! Okay, so what this code is, again, as it's doing here, is literally just printing out whatever the location of my mouse is, as well as the location of the circle. So if I click here, close to 400, see how the mouse location says 382.10? Now my circle also has that same value, 382.10. If I click down here toward the middle, all right, this is close to 200, so we can expect that the mouse location is around there. Okay, 216, 225. And again, the circle has that same x and y value. Now technically, you can use these x and y values. You can use x and y pretty much really anywhere you want. So I technically could do this, which is a little bit sort of wacky, but it will also, but it's just going to show you how this works. I could also I can really put x and y wherever wherever CS Academy is expecting a number. So let's say I do this. So now what's going to happen is where the radius of the circle is, my x value is going to be. This is going to create kind of a cool effect here. So if I click close to where x is 0, notice here that I get a circle that has a radius of 7. Now, if I click closer to here, where the x value is around 100, now you see that my circle has a radius of about 100 here. 89 is close to 100. Now, if I click where the x value is around 200 here, the circle now has a radius of about 200 here. So really, this is just to show you, normally we're going to replace the x and y values with x and y. But really, this is just to show you that you can put x and y, these parameters, really wherever in the code that the code is expecting a number. Another way here that we can use parameters is with animation as well. So we could also, let's say we just want one dot to move around on the canvas. Then I might do something like this. Okay, so first I'm going to just go ahead and create my dot in the middle. I'm going to make it a dot that has a radius of 20. And this time I'm just going to make it magenta. Okay, so now, normally when we change the location of something, we would do something like this. We would just say, okay, I want my dot to move up. So I'm going to say like center x is equal to, I want it to move, let's say, up and to the right. So I'm going to say center x is equal to 350. I'm going to say center y is equal to 50. I'm going to run it, see what happens, press the mouse, boom, it moves over. But if we want it to follow the mouse, again, we can use our parameters, where we replace 350 with x and 50 with y, which are the names of our parameters here. We run it, and see now the circle is following wherever we press the mouse. Now sometimes you might see parameter names that look like this. Mouse x, mouse y. That is completely fine as long as we make sure that we change the names down here to say mouse x and mouse y. If we don't, we're going to get an error like this. X is not defined because we didn't create a variable called x. We created a variable called mouse x. So if I change this to mouse x, change this to mouse y, then we're going to see that everything is nice and good here again. All right, so that's just the really quick recap on, or summary on parameters. Please let me know if you have any questions. Speak to you soon.